The bracelet sits in its velvet box on my empty dresser, diamonds catching the afternoon light like tears. I can't cry anymore. I haven't worn it since everything fell apart. Can't bring myself to sell it either. It's worth $12,000, but that's nothing compared to what it cost me. My marriage, my reputation, my entire life. I pick it up, let the platinum links run through my fingers. Such a beautiful piece of jewelry. Such an ugly story behind it. 6 months ago, I was living in a 4-bedroom colonial in Savannah with my husband, Ryan. We had the life everyone envied. Successful careers, gorgeous home, vacations to Europe twice a year. Our 10th anniversary was coming up, and I'd been dropping hints about wanting something special, something that would make the other lawyers' wives at the firm take notice. Ryan was practical about gifts. He'd get me nice things, sure, but nothing that really made a statement. A Kate Spade purse when I wanted Chanel. A pair of 1-carat studs when I'd been eyeing 2-carat ones. He called it being financially responsible. I called it being cheap with the one person who should matter most. That's what I told myself when I started the affair with Daniel. The first time I saw Daniel Morrison, he was standing in our law firm's marble lobby, custom suit perfectly tailored, checking a watch that cost more than my car. When he turned and our eyes met, something electric passed between us. He smiled like he already knew my secrets. "You must be Olivia," he said, extending a manicured hand. "Bill told me you'd be handling my paperwork." His handshake lasted a beat too long. His thumb brushed against my wrist, and I felt it everywhere. Daniel was everything Ryan wasn't. Spontaneous where Ryan was scheduled, generous where Ryan was frugal, exciting where Ryan was predictable. He was a client at the law firm where I worked as a paralegal, going through a messy divorce of his own. We bonded over lunch meetings about his case, sharing stories of marital disappointment. "My wife never appreciated anything I gave her," he told me over martinis one afternoon. "I'd buy her jewelry, trips, whatever she wanted. Nothing was ever enough." "My husband thinks a gift card to Target is romantic," I replied, already on my 3rd drink. "For Christmas last year, he got me a vacuum. A vacuum, Daniel." He laughed, that rich sound that made something flutter in my chest. "A beautiful woman like you deserves to be spoiled. If you were mine, I'd shower you with diamonds." The flirting was harmless at first. Then came the texting. Then the after-work drinks turned into dinners. Then dinners turned into him booking hotel rooms just to talk, he said, somewhere private away from prying eyes. We both knew we weren't there just to talk. The first time was after the firm's Christmas party. Ryan had canceled last minute. A work emergency, he said. Always work with him. Daniel offered to drive me home, but we ended up at the Hilton instead. I told myself it was just one night, just one mistake. But one night turned into twice a week, then 3 times, then whenever we could steal moments together. I became an expert at deception. Tuesday afternoons were client meetings that ran long. Thursday evenings were yoga classes I never attended. Weekends when Ryan traveled for work became 48-hour escapes into Daniel's world. Room service at the Four Seasons, shopping sprees at Neiman Marcus, lazy mornings in Egyptian cotton sheets that felt nothing like the practical Target bedding at home. "Tell me again why you stay with him," Daniel would murmur, tracing patterns on my bare shoulder. "It's complicated," I'd say. The standard excuse of every cheating spouse. "It's not, though. You're unhappy. I make you happy. Simple math." But it wasn't simple. Ryan wasn't a bad husband. He was just insufficient. He loved me in his quiet, steady way, brought me coffee every morning exactly how I liked it, never forgot to kiss me goodbye. But where was the passion? The grand gestures? The feeling of being desired so intensely it consumed everything? Daniel gave me that. When he looked at me, I felt like Helen of Troy, worth starting a war over. Daniel was going through his divorce, so he was careful. But he was also generous in ways Ryan never was. Designer shoes that appeared at my office, spa weekends when Ryan thought I was visiting my sister in Atlanta, And then, 2 weeks before my anniversary, the bracelet.
"I saw this and thought of you," he said, pulling out the distinctive turquoise box.
My heart stopped. Tiffany's. Inside was the most gorgeous tennis bracelet I'd ever seen, diamonds all the way around. The setting so delicate it looked like the gems were floating on my wrist. "Daniel, I can't accept this. It must have cost $12,000, he said casually, like it was nothing. "And yes, you can. You deserve beautiful things, Olivia. Let someone treat you the way you should be treated." I should have said no, should have ended things right there, but seeing that bracelet, feeling its weight on my wrist, having someone value me enough to spend that kind of money, I was drunk on being desired, being worth something to someone. The affair intensified after that. The bracelet became our symbol. I'd wear it to our meetings. He'd kiss my wrist right over the clasp. I was careful to hide it at home, keeping it in my gym bag, only wearing it when I was with him or out with friends who didn't know Ryan. Then came my anniversary. Ryan surprised me with dinner at a nice restaurant. Not the nicest, of course, but better than our usual chains. He'd even worn a suit. Over dessert, he pulled out a wrapped box, looking proud of himself. "Happy anniversary, Liv." 10 years. Can you believe it? Inside was a watch. A nice watch, sure, but nothing compared to the bracelet hidden in my purse. I forced a smile, told him I loved it, all while thinking about how Daniel would have done so much better.
"Is everything okay?"
Ryan asked. "You seem distant lately?" "Just work stress," I lied. "You know how it is." He reached across the table to take my hand.
"I know I'm not the most romantic guy."
"But I love you, Liv. These 10 years have been the best of my life." The guilt should have hit me then, should have made me confess everything. Instead, I was thinking about how Daniel was taking me to Miami next month, while Ryan thought I was at a legal conference. The universe has a sick sense of humor, though. Ryan went to bed early that night. He had a morning meeting, and I was scrolling through social media, admiring photos from a colleague's birthday party. There I was in a group shot, laughing, champagne in hand, and the bracelet clearly visible on my wrist. I'd been so careful for months, but one glass of champagne too many at that party, and I'd forgotten to take it off before photos. I quickly untagged myself, but the damage was done. The photo was already out there, already liked and commented on by dozens of people, including, I realized with horror, Ryan's sister Emma. "Gorgeous bracelet. Anniversary gift from Ryan? He's finally learning," her comment read. I deleted her comment, blocked her from the post, and spent the next hour in panic mode. But Emma was already texting me. "OMG, that bracelet is stunning. Ryan really outdid himself. Is it Tiffany's? I thought I recognized the style." I typed and deleted a dozen responses, finally settled on, "Thanks. Yes, he really surprised me this year." The lie came so easily. And why not add one more? I'd been lying for 6 months already. Each deception building on the last, creating an elaborate house of cards that felt stable until you looked too close. My phone rang. Emma calling now. I let it go to voicemail, but she immediately called again. "Olivia! I just showed Mom your bracelet photo. She's so impressed. She wants to know which Tiffany's location Ryan went to. She's been dropping hints to Dad about their anniversary." My mouth went dry. Ryan's mother, Patricia, was sharp as a tack. She'd remember every detail, probably call the store to look at similar pieces. "Oh, I'm not sure which location," I said, trying to sound casual. "You know Ryan, he probably ordered it online." "Still, what's the style name?" Mom's determined to get something similar. She says it's about time Ryan showed some romance. We were starting to worry he didn't have it in him. Each word felt like a nail in my coffin. "I'll have to check the paperwork." "Hey, Emma, I'm actually at work right now." "Of course." "But dinner Sunday, you can wear it and tell us the whole story. Mom's dying to see it in person." "Sunday. 4 days to figure out how to convince everyone my husband had given me a bracelet he'd never seen before. The next morning, I had a plan. I'd wear the bracelet home, gush about it, make Ryan think he'd given it to me, but I'd been saving the reveal. He was forgetful about things like that. I could probably gaslight him into believing he'd bought it and forgotten. But first, I decided to post my own photo on Instagram. Me wearing the bracelet, caption, "Feeling blessed." 10 years, and he still knows how to surprise me. Number anniversary gift number Tiffany's number lucky wife. The likes poured in. Comments from friends, colleagues, even Ryan's coworkers congratulating him on his excellent taste. I felt brilliant. I'd turned my affair gift into a public declaration of my husband's love. Daniel would never see it. We weren't connected on social media for obvious reasons, and Ryan would be too embarrassed to admit he hadn't bought it. When Ryan came home that night, I was wearing the bracelet prominently. "Honey, thank you again for this," I said, waving my wrist. "I know I acted surprised at dinner, but I found it last week in your drawer. I've been dying to wear it." He looked confused. "Found what?" "The bracelet, silly. Your anniversary gift. It's perfect." His confusion hardened into something else. "Liv, I gave you the watch. What bracelet?" I laughed, forced and bright. "This one, the one you hid in your sock drawer. I know I shouldn't have snooped, but I was putting away laundry and surprise ruined, I guess." "Olivia, I didn't buy you a bracelet." The room tilted. "Of course you did. It was in the Tiffany's box, in your drawer." I haven't been to Tiffany's in years. Where did that bracelet come from? My mind raced. Maybe your mom for our anniversary? My mom's been in Florida for 3 months. Olivia, what's going on? I should have confessed then. Should have come clean. Instead, I doubled down. "I don't know, Ryan." "It was in the house. I assumed it was from you. Who else would give me a diamond bracelet?" He stared at me for a long moment. "That's what I'm trying to figure out." The next few days were tense. Ryan didn't bring up the bracelet again, but I caught him staring at it when he thought I wasn't looking. I wore it constantly now, maintaining the lie that it was an anniversary gift. The Instagram post had hundreds of likes. Taking it down now would raise questions. Daniel noticed immediately when we met for lunch. "You're wearing it out now?" he asked, pleased. "Getting bolder, are we?" I told Ryan it was an anniversary gift, I admitted. His face darkened. "You told him I gave you an anniversary gift?" "No, that he gave it to me. As far as everyone knows, this is from my husband." "That's sick, Olivia. You're wearing my gift and giving him credit? What was I supposed to do?" "Someone saw me wearing it and maybe you shouldn't have worn it out if you weren't ready for questions." He signaled for the check. "I need some time to think about this." "About us?" "Daniel, please." But he was already leaving. I sat there with my $12,000 problem glittering on my wrist, feeling everything start to crumble. A week passed. Daniel wasn't returning my calls. Ryan was working late every night, barely speaking to me when he was home. I threw myself into the lie, posting more photos of the bracelet, gushing about my thoughtful husband to anyone who'd listen. If I said it enough, maybe it would become true. Then Ryan came home with a printed screenshot. "Funny thing," he said, voice deadly calm. "My buddy Jake was browsing Instagram and saw a familiar bracelet." My blood turned to ice. "What do you mean?" He showed me the photo. It was from 3 years ago, a woman I didn't recognize wearing my bracelet. Same distinctive setting, same diamond pattern, unmistakably the same piece. "Jake's ex-girlfriend," Ryan continued. "She dated some hotshot lawyer for a while. He gave her this bracelet. They broke up when she found out he was married." I couldn't breathe. "That's babong. That must be a different bracelet. Lots of them look similar." "No, Olivia. It's the same one. See this?" He zoomed in on the photo. There's a tiny engraving on the clasp. Forever D. I checked yours while you were sleeping. Same engraving. D. Daniel. Want to know the really interesting part? Ryan's voice was too calm, the eye of the storm. The lawyer she was dating? Daniel Morrison, your firm's client, the one going through a divorce. The room spun. I grabbed the counter for support. He has a habit, apparently, Ryan continued. Gives the same bracelet to every mistress. His ex-wife's lawyer documented 5 different women wearing this exact piece over the years. It's evidence in their divorce proceedings. Ryan, 6 months, he cut me off. I checked our credit card statements, cross-referenced with your work trips and girls' nights. 6 months you've been sleeping with him. I wanted to deny it, to lie more, but what was the point? He'd done his homework like the analyst he was. Probably had spreadsheets of evidence. It didn't mean anything, I whispered. No. Then why are you wearing his bracelet? Why are you posting photos claiming I gave it to you? Why are you humiliating me in front of everyone we know? I never meant... My mother called me crying, he continued, voice breaking. Crying, Olivia. Because she was so happy I'd finally learned to be romantic. She said she was proud of me for the first time in years, and I had to stand there, knowing it was all a lie, that my wife is screwing another man and flaunting his gifts as mine. The pain in his voice was unbearable. This wasn't just about the affair anymore. I'd humiliated him publicly, made him look like a fool in front of everyone who mattered to him. Get out! Ryan, please, let's talk about this. Get out! He roared it this time, making me jump. Pack a bag and get out of my house. Now, this is my house too. Not anymore. I've already called a lawyer. And Olivia, everyone's going to know. Every single person who liked your little Instagram posts is going to know exactly where that bracelet came from and what kind of person you are. I packed in a daze, throwing clothes into a suitcase while Ryan stood in the doorway, making sure I didn't take anything that wasn't mine. The bracelet still glittered on my wrist. I couldn't seem to take it off. The watch, he said as I zipped my bag. Leave the watch I actually gave you. I took it off with shaking hands, placed it on the dresser. 10 years, he said quietly. 10 years I loved you, and you threw it away for some shiny jewelry and a man who collects women like trophies. Ryan ... He's not going to leave his wife for you. You know that, right? You're just the latest in a long line. When he gets bored, he'll take that bracelet back and give it to the next one. I rolled my suitcase to the door, then turned back. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. No, you're not. You're sorry you got caught. There's a difference. He was right, of course. I was only sorry because my perfect lie had unraveled. The story spread like wildfire. Ryan, true to his word, made sure everyone knew the truth. He posted his own Instagram update, a photo of the printed evidence with a caption that went viral in our social circle. When your wife claims you gave her a Tiffany bracelet for your anniversary, but it's actually from her married boyfriend who gives the same bracelet to all his mistresses. 10 years wasted. Lawyer recommendations welcome. Within an hour, it had over 300 reactions. The comments were brutal. OMG, Ryan, I'm so sorry. She seemed so happy about that gift from you. I knew something was off when she kept showing it off. You never were the flashy type. Dodged a bullet, my friend. Anyone who could lie like that isn't worth keeping. Wait, Daniel Morrison? The guy whose wife found 5 other women? Olivia was number 6? That last comment sent me spiraling. I hadn't known about 5 others. Daniel had made me feel special, chosen. Turns out I was just the latest model wearing the same bracelet. My phone exploded. Friends demanding explanations, colleagues whispering at work. My mother crying, asking how I could do this to such a good man. The partners at the law firm suggested I take an indefinite leave of absence. Having an affair with a client was an ethics violation. Daniel, when I finally reached him, was ice cold. You need to stop calling me. My wife's lawyer has added you to the witness list. Any contact between us could hurt my case. But you said you were getting divorced anyway. I was working on reconciliation. Until you posted that bracelet all over social media and gave her lawyer ammunition. Do you know how much this is going to cost me? Daniel, I love you.
Love! He let out a bitter laugh. Olivia, you were fun, a distraction. But love? Don't be naive. A woman who'd cheat on her husband and lie about gifts isn't exactly relationship material. You gave me the bracelet, and you were supposed to be discreet about it. Instead, you created an Instagram shrine to your imaginary perfect marriage. That's sick, Olivia, even for someone having an affair. He hung up. Blocked my number. Just like that, 6 months of passion reduced to nothing. I tried to salvage something, reached out to friends, trying to explain my side. But what was my side? That I was lonely? That Ryan didn't buy me expensive enough gifts? That I deserved to be spoiled? It all sounded pathetic, even to me. The divorce was quick and brutal. Ryan had documented everything. The affair, the lies, the financial deception of using our joint accounts for hotel rooms. I got nothing. The house, the savings, the life we'd built, all gone. The worst part was the deposition. Sitting across from Ryan's lawyer, answering questions about every sordid detail while Ryan sat there, stone-faced, looking at me like I was a stranger. "How many times did you meet with Mr. Morrison at the Hilton?" the lawyer asked. I don't recall exactly. The credit card statements show 43 charges over 6 months. Does that refresh your memory? 43. It sounded so much worse with a number attached. And you posted the bracelet on social media claiming it was from your husband because... I panicked. Someone saw me wearing it. So your solution was to create an elaborate deception involving dozens of people? I wasn't thinking clearly. Ryan finally spoke. No, you were thinking clearly. You were thinking about yourself, like always. His lawyer continued the brutal questioning. Every hotel charge, every fake work trip, every lie cataloged and examined. By the end, there was nothing left of me to defend. My sister let me stay with her for a month, but her husband made it clear I wasn't welcome long term. I don't want Olivia around the kids, I heard him tell her. What kind of example is she setting? So I found this apartment in a complex that doesn't check references. It's nothing like my colonial in Savannah. The neighbors are loud, the walls are thin, and there's a suspicious stain on the ceiling that might be mold. But it's what I can afford on unemployment. I kept the bracelet. Stupid, I know. I should sell it, pay off some credit cards. But I can't. It's all I have left from a life that wasn't even real. Daniel's wife's lawyer was right. He'd given the same bracelet to at least 5 women. We were all interchangeable to him, just pretty wrists to decorate. Sometimes I put it on and stare at it, remembering how powerful I felt wearing it. How desired. How valuable. Now it just looks like what it is. A cliché gift from a serial cheater to his latest conquest. Ryan remarried last month. I saw it on Facebook before he blocked me. A small ceremony, family only. His new wife is pretty in an understated way. A pediatrician someone mutual told me. She probably doesn't care about designer jewelry or Instagram likes. She probably loves him for him. The wedding photos showed him smiling in a way I hadn't seen in years. Maybe ever. Had he ever been that happy with me? Or had I been too busy wanting more to notice? I still check Daniel's Instagram sometimes from fake accounts. He's still married, still posting photos of romantic dinners with his wife, expensive vacations, renewed vows on their anniversary. Turns out the divorce was all talk. Men like him don't leave their wives. They just collect mistresses like my bracelet, pretty things to play with when they're bored. My phone buzzes. It's the property manager texting about next month's rent. I'm already behind on this month. The bracelet sits there, $12,000 of solutions to my problems. But I can't sell it. It's my scarlet letter, my reminder of who I really am. I was the woman who had everything. A devoted husband, a beautiful home, a good life.
And I threw it all away because someone dangled something shiny in front of me and told me I deserved more. Turns out I deserved exactly what I got. Nothing but a bracelet that was never really mine, and a reputation that will follow me forever. In Savannah, in legal circles, on social media, I'm the woman who wore her boyfriend's gift and called it love. The paralegal who slept with a client. The wife who lied about a bracelet until the truth came crashing down. I pour another glass of wine, the cheap kind now, not the bottles Ryan used to buy, and hold my wrist up to the light. The diamonds still sparkle, still look expensive, still make that satisfying weight on my arm. But they're not really diamonds anymore. They're crystallized lies. Each stone a memory of a moment I chose deception over truth, excitement over stability, wanting over having. The bracelet is beautiful. It's also the ugliest thing I own. And I'll keep wearing it, because it's all I have left to show for the life I destroyed, one selfish choice at a time. Forever D, the engraving says. Daniel had meant it as romance. Now it just feels like my sentence. Forever destroyed. Forever disgraced. Forever defined by a piece of jewelry that cost me everything that actually mattered. I close the box and pour another glass. Tomorrow I'll job hunt again. Try to find something that pays enough to keep this shabby roof over my head. Tonight, though, I'll sit here with my $12,000 mistake and remember when I thought I deserved to have it all. Turns out I got exactly what I deserved, just not in the way I expected.